What is up, you guys? This is your boy Andy Matrix, and today I want to talk about Barnes& and Nobles once again. I've made videos about Barnes& and Nobles, how manga is growing in Barnes& and Noble. There's more manga shelves than comic book shelves in Barnes& and Nobles. As a matter of fact, the Barnes& and Nobles comic book shelves is shrinking in many locations, especially where I live in Connecticut. Like the Barnes& and Nobles that I usually go to, they went from like 4 shelves of manga now to like 8 or 12, right? While the comic book shelf kind of remains the same. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. I've made videos. I made a lot of videos on that. You see, I was walking around Barnes and Nobles the other day, and I was seeing, in the manga section is packed as always. That aisle of manga. It was just packed with people of all ages, by the way, just teenagers, kids, parents buying manga for their kids. I saw a mother buying Demon Slayer manga for her son, and adults like myself, just people all over buying manga. And then you go to the comic book shelf, and the interest in comic books, I've noticed, has gone down, right? Because Barnes and Nobles knows what sells. And I think the trend is starting to catch on. I mean, because now I see Gen Z moving more towards manga. But honestly speaking, Gen Z grew up in an era where comic books were declining and manga was going up. So it's no wonder, right? But like, I don't see a lot of people in the comic book section like I used to. Most people spend their time in the manga section. Okay, that's just how it is. And I mean, even parents, even like the older generation that you would think they grew up with comic books, they still rather buy manga for their kids. Yeah, sometimes they'll buy a comic book here or two, but manga is what sells. The Naruto's, the Jujutsu Kaisen, Demon Slayer, all that stuff. And I keep seeing it, and I go to Barnes and Nobles a lot. And this is just here, my local Barnes and Nobles. But I do recommend to go to your local Barnes and Nobles and see how much the manga shelf has grown. Okay, and you will see there's this huge like shift, right? Manga is just more in people's psyche now, right? In the young people, in the older people. Right, parents, they much rather buy manga. Of course, there's some naughty manga out there that that kids should not be reading. But for the most part, it's pretty. Manga is still winning, like always. Anyways, I just wanted to share this with you guys. I just thought it was something quick I wanted to share. I just see this movement. Well, it's not an intentional movement, obviously, but it's just I see more and more people just kind of like ignoring comic books whatsoever, and just manga is more in their minds now. It's more in their, I guess, in their psyche now. I don't know if that's the right word, but yeah, even with parents, like kids, I see them like say, "Man, can I have this manga? This manga." Demon Slayer, Jujutsu Kaisen, Attack on Titan, even girls. In girls, they go for the, for the romance comedy stuff, right? It sells a lot. It's huge, and within the next 5 to 10 years, I think that the only thing we're gonna have in comic books is just indie authors, because it's like comic books are just becoming less and less popular. And I see it in Barnes and Nobles all the time, and all they really have is the repetitive superhero stuff, which honestly it dies out eventually after a couple of years. And yeah, people still love Batman, but for how long can you profit from Batman without people getting tired from it? Eventually people get worn out and they want to try some other stuff. All right, and that's gonna do it for this video, guys. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you in the next video. This is Andy Matrix. Godspeed.